Today's origin story is that of perhaps one of the most important characters in the Red Dead universe, the main protagonist of Red Dead Redemption and a secondary protagonist in Red Dead Redemption 2. He's a character I'm sure many know all too well. I am of course talking about John Marston, a capable gunslinger with limited imagination and a Luddite at heart with a preference for simpler living. John is a naturally skeptical and reserved individual, one who would eventually become the family man we know in Red Dead Redemption. However, in today's video we're going to explore the build-up to his involvement in the events of Red Dead Redemption 2. So please enjoy the origins of John Marston. John Marston was born in 1873. His father was a Scottish immigrant who had been born on the boat to New York. His mother, on the other hand, was a prostitute who died during childbirth, leaving John in the care of his father, a man who would preach his love for Scotland and would always speak about it, despite never having seen it for himself. In 1881, Marston's father found himself in a bar brawl south of Chicago, which left him blinded, and then died soon after when John was just 8 years old, with John being told he died because of the bar fight, though it's not really clear quite how. As a result, John would be sent to an orphanage where he was to spend the next few years of his life, until he eventually ran away, choosing to instead try his luck on the streets. Having to resort to a criminal lifestyle, John would rob and steal, and at the age of 11 in 1884, John would commit his first murder, where he shot a man and, as murder would suggest, he died. This wouldn't deter a young remorseless John, who would continue to pursue his outlaw lifestyle, and in 1885, at the age of 12, he was caught stealing by homesteaders in Illinois. The homesteaders, as a result, planned to hang him. However, before they could, a man named Dutch Vanderlyn stepped in and saved the young boy. Dutch would take John into his and Hosea Matthews' care, where he would be inducted into the Vanderlyn gang. They would teach the illiterate young boy how to read, write, shoot a gun, hunt, ride a horse, and all manner of things an outlaw would need to have an edge in a dog-eat-dog world. Dutch would instill his beliefs in the young John Marston, and John would develop a strong brother-like bond with Arthur Morgan. Over the years, John would develop into an experienced member of the Vanderlyn gang, becoming passably literate, a good rider, and most importantly, a capable gun. Unfortunately, he never got the hang of swimming, and Arthur Morgan would later mock him for this. Running with Dutch, Hosea, and Arthur, along with other members of the gang, Bill Williamson and Javier Escuela, and a couple others, John would assist the gang in committing murder, robbery, kidnappings, and all manner of other crimes, becoming one of Dutch's proudest apprentices. Many of the gang considered him to be Dutch's golden boy, much to the envy of characters such as Bill Williamson. Initially, John believed strongly in Dutch's philosophy and thought the gang was stealing and fighting for a purpose, to live free and to steal from the rich in order to give to the poor, though John would later admit these were just excuses, enabling them to rob, steal and kill. Though it's unclear when he made this realization, the game leads us to believe he comes to this conclusion before anybody else does. In the year 1894, a prostitute named Abigail Robbers would join the gang. She would have sexual relations with several gang members, however, she eventually fell in love with John. In 1895, Abigail would give birth to a child, John's child, Jack Marston. While the gang would become Jack's extended family, John found himself unable to cope with becoming a parent. John had overall difficulties connecting with his son and doubted that he was even his. He also feared he was unable to raise the boy. This led to John leaving the gang in 1896, living out in the frontier on his own for around 1 year before returning in 1897. Most welcomed him back with open arms. However, Arthur Morgan was especially hurt by his departure, so when John returned, their relationship was far more strained than it once was. And this strain would only increase over the next few years. John still struggled to connect with his son, at times being blunt and cold with the boy, and otherwise seemingly uninterested in attempting to raise him. John would instead primarily focus on being the outlaw he always was. In 1898, the gang would pick up new members as they traversed the Grizzlies, before headed eastward and arriving in the town of Blackwater. The gang would stick around here for a while, with one of its new members, Micah Bell, convincing Dutch to take on a ferry heist, which John would participate in alongside other members of the gang. The ferry job would go sideways quickly. Dutch shot an unarmed girl in the head, killing her instantly, and sprung a trap the Pinkerton agents had led for Dutch and his boys. A vicious shootout would ensue, in which the Van der Linde gang lost several members, and John would take a bullet to the arm. Which brings us nicely to the beginning of the events of Red Dead Redemption 2, where the gang escape north into the mountains. John's story by this point differs from Arthur in one key way. While at the beginning of Red Dead Redemption 2, Arthur is very much so loyal to Dutch Van der Linde and believes in Dutch's cause, and then we gradually get to see the cracks begin to show. For John, the cracks are already showing. He's a much more questioning character. That year away from the gang certainly would have given John the perspective needed for this edge, but for the most part the disillusionment of both these characters occurs over the course of the main story, though I think it's fair to say that by 1899, John Marston already found himself a touch doubtful of Dutch's philosophy, even if at first he still thinks he believes in it wholeheartedly. But before we fumble into a debate that isn't relevant to today's video, that's the end of the origins of John Marston, another short and sweet one. Thank you all for watching this video. I really hope that you've enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends and all that wonderful stuff. That would be super fantastic. And of course, be sure to go ahead and follow me on social media and check out Decades. All links will be in the description. I'm really happy with the growth of Decades, my brand new history channel that I'm running with a few friends, such as Connor, who's a funny guy. The channel's only been fully launched a week and we're already approaching 4,000 subscribers over there, so if you like history and haven't checked it out then, please do so via a link in the description if you want, and if you don't, then no problem. Anyway, with any luck, I'll be seeing you all very soon with another video at some point, either on this channel or over on Decades. And with any luck, I'll be seeing you all very soon with another video at some point, so please, until next time, do take care, and goodbye.